It's Slate Night, the Film Fan Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Corey and Mason.
Hello and welcome to Slate Night, the Film Fan Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Mason Schmidt, here with my best bud, Corey Knudsen.
Whoop whoop.
Oh, you want to wait? You're so fixated on
I was
that
opening the
fucking
beer. Hit you with a whoop whoop though.
Anyway, as we get ready to crack some cold ones, as Corey does that preemptively, and talk about movies, of course. But today we'll be looking at some movie news, talking about movies that we've seen this past week. Also, we have kind of an awesome line. Well, really one big new release coming up this upcoming week of April 18th that I am so fucking stoked for. So that we have to look forward to. Also, a little update in terms of physical media and what we've maybe collected, what we're looking to collect. And we'll talk about some movie news. But, Corey, how have you been? What you been up to? And then also, what are we drinking today?
Dude, this I'm going to start off with what we're drinking. We got a little light American lager from Elm Creek Brewing. This is just exactly what I need. It's not an IPA today. Like, we just got a nice
Simple
light beer.
Yeah.
It's good shit. I love it.
Yeah.
It's Masters week, baby. I love the Masters. I've gotten into golf a lot over the past few years once I started playing a little bit. And there is nothing like laying on your couch.
I've gotten into golf. There's nothing like laying on your couch.
I don't know, watching golf. No, I mean, like I said, I play a little bit, and I've had a bigger appreciation for the sport. And during Masters Week, those 4 days, you just laying on your couch, and you're watching. You got Jim Nance's soothing voice. You got the Masters music.
He is one of the best.
And you're just laying there. You kind of fade in and out. You take a little nap. Come back in. Like, that's what I plan on doing tomorrow. Like, Masters Sunday is one of my favorite days of the year. And it's great. Right now, Rory's up. But Bryson DeChambeau, I want him to win. He's like 10 under par right now. I think he's second place. So, rooting for Bryson. But it's I fucking love the Masters, man.
Yeah, I don't know much about golf. Not gonna act like I do. I've watched the Masters only when I went to, like, relatives' houses, and they had it on in the background. It was muted, and there's just people golfing. I'm like, oh, that's kind of sick. I like golf. I'm not good at it. It's fun enough. I do think, and I'm sorry if this offends any people that are super religious, but I feel like if you die and you go to heaven, Jim Nance, that's the voice you hear. You die and you go to hell, it's Joe Buck. Like, it's Joe Buck all the fucking time.
Booger McFarlane.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
He sucks, bro.
Oh, my God. But,
Like, just shut up, dude.
I just had to diss Joe Buck a little bit. I fucking hate his ass. Anytime he's on the call for a Vikings game, it's like, all right, we're going to get dragged this entire game. We'll win, and he's going to make it sound like we're losing this entire time.
Love Jim Nance, though.
Jim Nance, oh yeah, he's the best. Anyways, talking about some movies that we saw this past week. A movie that Corey and I were both actually really lucky to go out and see was one of the ones that we were probably more excited about coming out in April of this year was Warfare, the film directed by Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland. Alex Garland coming hot off of Civil War, also the director of Ex Machina, Annihilation, and Men. Film has a pretty stacked cast. Got Will Poulter, Joseph Quinn, Cosmo Jarvis, Michael Gandolfini, and Charles Melton. It's the retelling of the day during the Battle of Ramadi in the Iraq War in 2006 that sees a Navy SEAL platoon attempt to evacuate members of their own team after they were severely wounded in an IED explosion. And
Fuck.
yeah, not to bury the lead. This movie's nuts. It's from A24, which when I've seen the few war films that have come from A24, I'm usually pretty surprised by them. Then also to tack onto that, you have Alex Garland doing this, and he has the influence of Ray Mendoza, who is a veteran who lived, and he is telling this story based off of his memory of the story. Wow, this is a fucking trip. This was one of the most anxiety-filled, anxious, just like my heart was beating. This isn't like a movie. Like it has an inciting incident, and then it's the fallout of that incident. And just, this is where these guys are. We need to get them out. And it is it's just a combat simulation. It's more of that than it is an actual, like, story where it's like point A, this happens. It doesn't feel polished. It doesn't feel scripted. It just feels like manic panic. It's people flustered and just like, how the fuck do we get out of here? Watching this, and the theater I saw it in, everyone was just fucking chilled, just quiet the entire time. And it was one of those movies where leaving the theater, this random guy that was in my theater, because we, like, obviously we're walking around the same time, we're in the parking lot, he's like, you see Warfare? You come out of that theater? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, dude, I'm fucking, like, beat. Like, I am tired. He's like, I couldn't take it anymore. Like, not that it was bad. He's like, I don't know if I could take another half an hour of that movie. Which I'm like, yeah! It just further cemented that I am not cut out for military service, and also would just be an absolute dog shit anything. Like, having to make split-second decisions in moments where it's like, I'm shell-shocked, this dude's bleeding, this dude's missing a leg, this dude's not fucking speaking English, he's just talking to the fucking wall because he's in shell-shock too. Like, to be able to, like, reel that in and have some semblance of composure and try and dictate, all right, what is our best plan of getting the fuck out of here and saving everyone? It was one of the most, like, jolting film experiences I've had in recent memory.
This is, I think, one of the smartest things that this movie does, which Alex Garland also did with Civil War last year, is letting you be in this environment with these characters, but not picking a side of, obviously, the Iraq War is very heavily talked about the involvement of the U.S. and a lot of history there, obviously. This movie, much like Civil War, again, like, isn't concerned about how you get to that conflict, but just more of, in that moment, what's going on. It's not a pro-war film, it's not an anti-war film, but I think people on both sides can find something in this movie that, if you want to look at it as a pro-war movie, you can find stuff in there where it's like, yeah, these are just badass American dudes serving their country. And then if you want to look at it as an anti-war movie, you can see it as like, wow, these guys really did this whole thing for an hour and a half, like movie time, hour and a half, and like nothing happened. Like, guys died, and it just, for what?
Yeah, and it's told in real time. Like, you get some time with the guys. So one caveat I have with this movie, which is not a knock on the movie, it's a knock on AMC, which something I'm happy to drag through the fucking weeds because AMC pisses me off, even though they have a great deal with their AMC Stubs membership and whatnot. But AMC, we've complained, they do some movies will have a half an hour of trailers, and it's like, fuck you, what are you doing? But then people, like, whenever I complain about that, people are like, well, just go later. And it's like, I've tried that, and then I miss parts of the movie. Sometimes, like, all right, movie's listed at 7:15, it doesn't start till 7:45. So it's really hard to kind of predict and jump on it or try and get there to miss most of the trailers, but also make it in time for the movie. The early access screening I went to was at 7 o'clock on, I believe, Tuesday or Wednesday this past week. So I figured, I'm like, all right, I'm going to stick close to 7. Like, I'm usually never, like, 5 to 10 minutes, like, past 5 to 10 minutes late. So movie starts at 7. I'm like, it's at AMC. I'm in line getting popcorn at like 7:02. I'm walking into the theater at 7:04. I've missed the opening of this movie. And I'm like, see, this is why I hate AMC. If you're going to have 30 minutes of trailers, then you have to standardize that. Because otherwise you're just going to catch people off guard. Like, oh, no, you better come sit through all the trailers. Or, oh, no, you're late now. Oh, you're early now. It's like, what the fuck? So I missed a little bit of the kind of intro to this movie where you get more of the camaraderie of these guys before they're at this house in this event at the start of it, which the movie, it has them kind of like, all right, you're stationed in this room, what are you guys hearing on comms, like them getting set up and acclimated in this environment, and then there's the inciting incident, and it's just fucking free-for-alls once that hits. So
yeah, it's just enjoy the first 15 to 20 minutes of this movie.
It's the most calm you'll be.
Yeah, the opening scene, it really is just like the boys just being boys. Just like watching this music video with like some attractive women in there. They're just going crazy, hooting and hollering. It's like, yeah, the boys.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, they're just setting up. But once it hits and once it gets firing, it just doesn't stop for the last, fucking 60 minutes. One thing I want to point out is the sound design in this movie, because it is fucking incredible, and I'm very sad that this probably won't get recognized at the Oscars because it came out early in the year, even though it absolutely deserves it, because this movie is so visceral. Like we said, it's just in this one house, essentially, for the whole movie as they're trying to evacuate some guys that are injured and trying to get themselves out of there. And every single bomb that goes off, every gunshot feels important in this movie, and it just, like, it hits you in the core, and that is a mark of some great sound design. There's also just spending time with these guys in this environment. it's not really a character-based movie. It's not like some war movies you get the depth of the characters and like, oh, back home I've got old Sally or whoever.
Yeah.
And some war movies you have like the rousing speech from the leader and this other stuff. It doesn't really fall into that. It is just like these guys that you get a little bit of their personality, and you just get moments of them like taking dust off of like a countertop just in a room that just like sets you in that environment and makes you feel like you're there, which is, I think, the smartest move for this movie. Like I said, along with that, like not picking a viewpoint and just having it be more of an environment-based movie instead of a story and character-based movie, it's so incredibly effective.
Yeah. This, I think the best kind of comparison I have for this movie, which this is roughly a 90-minute movie, and once it gets going, it's going and you're locked in. The closest comparison I have to the visceral nature of this movie is the opening to Saving Private Ryan. People always talk about that and how that's such a good representation of just like the just absurdity of war and the horrors of it. And I think that this movie is basically everything you could say about the opening of Saving Private Ryan, that invasion of Normandy, everything you can say about that, you can say about the whole 90 minutes of this fucking movie. And not only that, there's never been a war movie where I've been like, anyone can die at any moment. Like, anytime they go outside or anytime they're trying to venture out, trying to get kind of an idea or recon and try and figure out their next move, I'm like, anyone can get shot. Like, this is the most I've been afraid for characters in a movie in a long time. I'm like, anyone can go at this point. And you talked about, they're not real, like, characters, but also that's not a fault of the movie. That's just the way this is. This isn't like a classic cinematic story where you get, like, the beats of them talking about their home life. It's just these guys in this situation trying to figure shit out. And you do get, like, good moments of, like, especially with Will Poulter's character, he's the leader of the group. And there's a moment where he's kind of shell-shocked, and he's trying to be in command, but you can tell by looking at him that he is so not all right. And then another character is like, are you good? Like, has anyone done like a blood sweep on you? Or has anyone checked you out? And then he's just like, dude, I'm fucked up. I'm not good. And it's just like to see moments like that of like Will Poulter, this character who's been pretty stoic. He's been a good leader. He has good camaraderie with all these guys. Like, he's looked at and he's respected by these guys. And then for him to finally like fold and be like, dude, I'm fucked up right now. I don't know how we're doing this. So this was a gut punch of a movie. It was hard to watch. I literally walked to my car. My eyes were like welling up. Like it's kind of a downer of a movie. It's a lot of shit to go through, and it's very intense, and the sound design is impeccable. But my eyes were welling up, and I got in my car, and I just needed to sit down and just fucking breathe. Like, I just sat there for like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Like I fucking ran. Like, I was like, oh my god. So, loved Warfare. It's an A+ for me. This is in the top, like, this is my top 3 of 2025 so far. It is my number 3 slot. I have Black Bag at number 1. I have Ephus at number 2, which I think Warfare is maybe the best made movie of 2025 that I've seen so far. But in terms of like rewatchability, what I'm looking in for in a movie, like Ephus, I'm gonna throw on any day. I would love to watch Ephus. It's awesome. Warfare, I think, is a better made movie, but like it's one of those movies where you check it out and then you put it on a shelf, and then because like I think I'm gonna remember a lot of this movie for a long time before I really have to revisit it. And I think that might kind of have the same effect for a lot of people. It's one of those movies where it's like the Schindler's List. You see the Schindler's List and you're like, yep, I can put that away for a little bit. Don't need to see that. Don't need to revisit that. I know what that is. That's a lot. And it's great, but it's a lot. And I feel like this is kind of getting into that camp. It's so well done, though. Anything Alex Garland touches at this point, I'm going to see it opening weekend.
I've loved what he's been doing, especially the past couple of years with Civil War and this. Really, my last note on it, just kind of building off what you said, is like, I love seeing the vulnerability of these guys that are like obviously trained to just be these badass soldiers, but also seeing just the procedures that I think a lot of other directors would have cut out. Where like there's a sequence where there's it's like a big hammer that's out in the street, and like they have to go out and get their gear. and they need like 3 people to go out and like cover them as they're going out to get it.
Because they can't leave shit behind.
They can't leave it because then the enemies are going to get their stuff, and like they can't have it. They need their stuff.
Even if it's just a sledgehammer, like just straight up a hammer, they can't leave that.
Yeah, it's just little details that make this feel so much more realistic and just more procedural in like how they do these things. Like, all right, we need to do this, and then we can do this, and then we can call them like. And that's, like I said, I think some directors would skip over that. It's like, well, what do we care if they get their gear or not? It's like, no, this is a big part of this Navy SEAL.
This is like the rigmarole you have to go through.
Yeah. So it is, this movie floored me. It is easily my favorite movie of the year. I just, honestly, like a movie hasn't affected me like this in a long time. Just like you said, you like need a few minutes to just fucking relax.
Decompress.
Like, whoa, holy shit, okay. Yeah. But it is honestly just a great length too. Being an hour and a half, just like a tight 90 minutes, and like 60 minutes of that is just intensity and visceral. So absolutely recommend this movie.
For sure.
Even if you're not a huge fan of war movies, like I said, it's not picking a side really. So I think anybody can watch this movie and get something from it and align your own views if you want to do that to the movie. But I think it works on so many different levels.
This movie is a good example of what war, like the horrors of war, without being like propaganda or trying to impose like a thought or a meaning or a message. Kind of why I love Civil War is how unbiased it tries to be, and just we're just gonna show you things and you make up your mind. We're not gonna tell you what to think, just try and figure it out yourself. And I think that this movie does it as well. We mentioned the cast already. Cosmo Jarvis, I haven't seen much of him in anything else. I know he was in Shogun, which I haven't watched yet on Hulu. And I'm really excited because that show, I think, won just a fuck ton of awards for just basically being excellent. But Cosmo Jarvis in this, he stole the movie for me, which there gets to be a point where these actors aren't recognizable. They are just so good at blending into these characters, this role that they play. Like, you lose the Will Poulter-ness. You lose the Michael Gandolfini-ness. Like, you lose who these actors are in these characters pretty quickly, which was also... anytime a movie can do that where I'm like, wow, that's Will Poulter. We were the Miller's Kid. I'm like, holy fuck, this dude is just going through it right now. And I don't know. Everything was just handled so well. I can't sing these praises enough for this movie.
Yeah. Also wanted to shout out somebody who I hadn't really seen before is DeFaro Wunatai, who played... one of the main characters in the movie, who was based on Ray Mendoza.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the frogman. He's the communications guy. I saw somebody else mention this in a review, and I thought it was a great point, was that Ray Mendoza being involved in this movie, like, he didn't make his character, like, his representation the main character. He was just another one of the guys.
Yeah.
So, this movie is incredible. Absolutely recommend it. This is a movie I've been waiting for all year to be like, all right, let's kick into gear. There's been a lot of stuff that I've liked, but this is absolutely an A movie for me. Moving into a bit of a more fun watch, much more enjoyable.
More laid back a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit more fun. Well, it depends what theater you're in, I guess. Is a Minecraft movie, which you talked about last week, just having a great theater experience, seeing it with your family.
Awesome.
Which is awesome. I did not have a similar theater experience. I saw it on a Monday afternoon at like 2 p.m. and there was like 4 other people in the theater.
Fuck yeah.
So nobody was hooting and hollering. Nobody was throwing stuff at the screen or anything. I'm sure everybody's seen like the theater reaction videos, which I'm excited that people are excited about a movie. That makes me very stoked because we haven't had that in a little while. But also I don't love people throwing like drinks and popcorn like at the screen.
Have you seen like the one with the live chicken?
Yeah.
The fuck is that?
And
don't
then
do
like,
that. Like
security's coming, and like I love people getting excited about a movie and going to the theater to see a movie. That's great.
Yeah.
But also I'm like, all right, dude, tone it back. Like every time Chicken Jockey comes out, we don't need to fucking like spaz out. Like I get it. There's a line, and even like being loud can be fun sometimes. But whatever. That's my little rant on
do
theater.
it out of reaction, not for distraction. Don't fuck with other people's experience. Like, it's fine to react to things and have like to laugh loud or to be like, oh, like, or to be shocked by something, but to go in with the mindset of like, oh no, I got something planned for this.
Yeah.
Like, don't do
kind of
that.
like the meme of it being like, oh, we're gonna like film it
don't.
and whatever. It's like, maybe don't do that. But anyway, so going into this movie, I think I mentioned it a couple weeks ago. I have never played a second of Minecraft before, so I didn't know anything about the world. And then I didn't really plan on seeing this movie, but just hearing you talk about it last week, and then kind of the hype around it, I'm like, I want to be a part of this.
Feels like you might miss out.
I want to see it and just and see what I feel. And this movie is very okay. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be just after seeing the trailers.
The trailers tried to make this look like a heaping pile of dog shit.
And that's part of the reason I'm like, I don't need to see this. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to like it. But this movie is honestly like a C- range for me, where it's like, it's watchable enough. And I think people that love the game get a lot out of it, obviously. And I think kids are having a really good time with this movie. It sounds like, and just very excited and passionate about it, which is great to see. Just for me personally, like I didn't, catch a lot of the like references or a lot of that stuff. But I think it's a solid enough adventure movie. And the thing that really saves it is the performances are all very committed. The actors, especially Jack Black and Jason Momoa, are just having fun. And that helps so much in a movie where, like, a movie like this where the concept is kind of goofy and silly, and they're just having a great time and, like, singing about lava chicken and, like, all this dumb, weird shit. Yeah. It's like, you're having a good time. That translates on the screen. One of the more mixed aspects for me was the CGI in the movie. I think the actual CGI of the Minecraft world looked okay. I thought it looked pretty fine. But anytime it was the human characters interacting with it, it was just very green screen.
Yeah.
And very noticeable. But anytime it was just like the locations or like there's little pigs or something, no, it's fine. Like it's just all there. Like when it's that same style of animation in the same scene, then it looks cool. So I was a little mixed on that. As far as flaws for the movie, I mean, this isn't a movie that I'm going to break down like, wow, the script and the characters were so poorly written. Like, that's not quite...
That's not what this is.
That's not what this movie is. Like, I could sit here forever and do that. But that's not the point of this. Just stuff that kind of bothered me a little bit. There was a point in the movie where the characters got split up in a group. And, like, Danielle Brooks and Emma Myers were in one group. And then it was the boys in another group. And the boys are, like, propelling the plot forward. And then... the other two characters are just not doing anything for like 30 minutes. I'm like, why did we split them up? Like, that's just a weird choice to make. And
then they just kind of like fall upon each other. It's like, oh,
they come back together.
Yeah, they just like kind of run into each other. Almost.
So just a weird story beat there. You talked about it last week. The Jennifer Coolidge subplot is so dumb. I hated it. I didn't think it was really funny. I know some people like her comedy. It's not necessarily my thing. So I think take that out of the movie, and that would have been completely fine. And then I think that it's a fun enough movie, but there's nothing that's like really memorable about it. There's no scenes where I'm like, oh, this was like a great action scene or anything like that. It just kind of all blends together, but
except for that one moment. The one moment that made you laugh, and that fucking maybe one of the funnier moments I've seen in a theater this past year, which I'm trying to like if you want to talk about it, but it's kind of spoilery, but it's towards the latter half of the very end of the movie actually. Jack Black is kind of getting away from this main big bad, which again, I like this movie. I don't remember the big bad's name. But he's like backing up and she's like, no, like she's been defeated. She's hunched over like, no, come closer. And he's like, are you gonna stab me with a knife? And she's like, no. He's like, okay, takes a step closer. She's like, just slowly lunges at him and he just like deflects it. He's like, yeah, okay, you fucking lied. Like, you're just gonna try and
happens
take
like 3 times.
Yeah, she does that trick 3 or 4 times and it works every time. It's like, that part was very funny. That is the most memorable thing for me. Also, the fact that this is a movie made by Jared Hess, who made Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon, give me some of your tots. There's a lot of tater tots in this movie.
Yeah,
that's a big thing. I love I'm gonna take that as an Easter egg to Napoleon Dynamite, and then you get Jack Black in a fucking wrestling ring. That's my tie back to Nacho Libre. So Jared Hess was like, to me, the perfect person to kind of work on fully encapsulating Minecraft and trying to propel this into a cinematic universe potentially. Yeah,
it's a fine enough movie. Like, I think parents taking their kids to it, like, it's not the worst family or animated, type movie that you could see. I looked up the villain's name, Malgosha. And
I'm just not gonna try. It doesn't matter. The big pig.
I remember she. I actually wrote this down in my notes. I took some notes about the movie, and
you took some notes about the Minecraft movie.
I sure did. I wanted to remember some stuff. And I said, main villain Malgosha. she becomes a villain because she lost a talent show.
That fucking fits the humor.
That's a plot line.
That fits the humor.
That's not even a positive or negative. That was just like a note that I wrote down. I'm like, that's why the main villain in her pig world of the, I don't remember, the Nether, maybe?
Yeah, the Nether.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was that. Oh, the last thing I was going to mention, even though I, like I said, don't know anything about Minecraft, there's a lot of this movie dedicated to Jack Black just explaining things for like 5-minute blocks. Where it's like, here's what this thing is, and that thing, and this weapon does that, and this world does this. Like, I figured it out. Like, I didn't need you to like do the exposition dump for that long in the movie. I get it. It's fine. And there's a lot of things that they're referencing and stuff from the game which I don't know about. But you know what? It's an okay movie. It's not as bad as I thought. It's enjoyable enough, but just not all that memorable for me. But from a lot of other people's theater reactions, like, looks like they're having a great time. So that's good.
Yeah. I am tempted to go see this again in theaters just because it was such a good time. And, like, that could easily get dwarfed or ruined. I could go see it a second time and then have a really obnoxious experience or something like that. But I really enjoyed this movie. I'm happy that you saw it. And, yeah, I think in my review, like, I gave it an A+, and I'm mostly basing it off of, like, my bias of my experience that I had with this movie and what it means to me now. But also the quality of it, I gave it like a C to C+. So it seems like we're pretty much in line on that. But I'm happy you saw it. It is kind of, like, weirdly enough, become a little bit of a water cooler movie, just with like the memification of the trailer and I'm Steve and just all the shit, the chicken jockey, like whatever. But it is really exciting to kind of have that big film event.
It's doing great at the box office too, which we needed.
Hopefully, it will help to jumpstart a little bit of a early summer renaissance for 2025, as the box office has been really struggling this year, and really all of 2024 didn't do too great either. But anything that helps us out in terms of keeping movie theaters alive and having people talk about movies in a positive way that feels like, oh shit, you saw the new movie? I need to go see that new movie.
Yeah,
all right, I'm excited.
It's great to hear that.
The new movie that I went and saw that I wasn't too thrilled about, actually didn't really have much intention to go see, was Drop, directed by Christopher Landon, who I kind of have a love-hate relationship with. Actually, it's mostly hate. He made Happy Death Day. He's made both the Happy Death Day movies. He made a Paranormal Activity movie, which I don't remember marked ones, I think. He made Freaky. I love Freaky. I think that movie is very fun. But I think a lot of his movies are horror comedies, and a lot of times with that genre, it usually leads all comedy. You have a horror backdrop, but there's no scares. It's just comedy then within this horror backdrop, and you get a lot of cliches and shit like that. But anyway, Drop stars Megan Fahey. Don't know who this woman is. Apparently she's in a TV show. I'm not a TV guy. Don't know. Brandon Sklenar. He's in the...
Every week you kill these pronunciations.
I'm so good at it, but also, like, putting an S-K-L-E. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? I'm also, like, 5 beers deep, and I'm so tired. And Violet Bean. I know Brendan Sklenar is in that old new Colleen Hoover movie with Blake Lively that is getting all the fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
It Ends With Us?
It Ends With Us.
Yeah,
that fucking movie, yeah. Which, actually, he's the best part of this movie, so I really dug him. But anyways, the synopsis to this movie is a widowed mother's first date in years takes a terrifying turn when she's bombarded with anonymous, threatening messages on her phone during their upscale dinner, leaving her questioning if her charming date is behind the harassment, which I don't fucking like that synopsis actually at all, especially towards the end. She's getting these random airdrops, and it's just a detective story. I've seen this trailer for this movie probably 40 times.
It's played a lot.
A lot. And this movie, it's pretty short. It's like an hour and 40, I think. And I just went to it on a whim. I didn't have high expectations. I was just kind of hoping, like, you know what? The last movie I saw in theaters was Warfare, and I loved it. But it was also just such a wildly exhaustive experience in terms of just what it does to you. So I was like, I just need some good brain-off movie theater going time. And I was like, fuck it, I'll go see Drop. And the performances are mostly good. The writing is kind of monotonous and, like, I don't know. If you've seen the trailer and you think you know what happens at the end, you're right. You've seen the trailer. You've seen all the big moments of these airdrops and, who's in it? Who's in this restaurant sending these random airdrops and, like, tormenting you? Or what's going on? Or, oh, now she's hanging out the window of this building. Oh, now she's in a car. that's the entire fucking movie. Like, I don't... And if you think... Do you think that this woman gets away with it and survives? Yes or no? You're probably right. It's a fucking movie. So, I didn't have high expectations for this, but also I was so fucking bored watching this movie. And them trying to find ways to make it creative or make it energetic and try and work cool ideas in terms of, like, how are they going to get around this? Or, oh, she wrote, like, a message, like, basically a help, I'm a hostage, basically, with lipstick on a dollar bill and then tip the guy playing piano, hoping he'd read that. And I'm like, okay, I see what you're trying to do, but none of it's, like, intriguing to me. And I figure you're probably going to be fine. And then the reveal of what's happening, how it's happening, why it's happening. I'm like, I don't give a shit. It's so, like, circumstantial. And it works so conveniently. Also, there's some weird tonal inconsistencies that I had with this movie, whereas, like, the trailers, I feel like, kind of pitch this to kind of be, yeah, thrilling, but also fun. It's thrilling, and then once you get more of the main character's backstory, it's really dark. And I'm like, I don't know what you're going for here. If I'm supposed to be, like, really sad right now, or if this is supposed to be a fun, like, whoa, what's going to happen next kind of thriller. Christopher Landon, he's not hit or miss. He's just miss, hit, miss, for me. So I think he's wildly inconsistent in terms of his writing and his directing. I'm happy he's not doing the next Scream movie. Happy he fucked off of that job. I will go to see this guy's movies because I just don't know why I'm resilient and resistant and hesitant to make this dude a villain to me, because I just go and support his movies, but I've only liked one of them. But I like the premise of a lot of his movies. And then I watch what he does with the premise. I'm like, wow, you really fucking shanked that one.
You're going to buy this movie on Blu-ray
and then sell it and then buy it. And then it's what I did with... The movie I've bought and purchased the most in my life is Happy Death Day. I've bought that movie, I think, 4 times. And I've sold it 4 times. I don't own it currently, and I have no plan to buy it again. But I think in, like, 2 years I'll probably buy it because I'm like, maybe I should watch it again. And then I watch that movie, and I'm like, wow, these characters are so fucking stupid. How do they not write a better, like, idea here? Anyway, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's not even, like, a bad movie. I was just kind of bored throughout it. I feel like I knew where it was going. Yeah, I'm not talking. That's fine.
Oh, I thought we were going to do the bring them out thing.
I could see it in your face, actually.
I wanted you to initiate it this time because I've done it the other times, and then you didn't do it. So it's totally cool.
Yeah.
It didn't... I'm not in a bad mood. I just finished what you were saying.
No, I have nothing. Are you excited for Drop?
I found out very recently that this is very loosely based on a true story.
Funny. It's probably a woman got airdropped dick pics and she was like, that's not nice.
Well, no, but it was...
I didn't nail that?
You know what? Maybe, I guess it could have been, but it was a couple of the producers on the movie. I believe they're married, and they were out at dinner, and they got airdropped a bunch of, quote, creepy Shrek memes, which could have been Shrek dick pics, I guess. I don't know what that means, but then they tried to find out who it was, and I guess they, like, followed somebody they thought it was to a pool, but then it wasn't them, and then they were like, we should write a movie about this.
No, that sounds like a story you tell your friends, and they're like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah. And then that's it. That's where that ends.
Yeah. So, that's all I have to add to that. I don't plan on seeing this because, like you said, I saw the trailer for this so much, and it just burned me out. And I don't know. I'll maybe watch it someday. But
I could see it being like a fun enough date movie, but like, again, I didn't hate it. I was just not impressed by any of it. So it's hard for me to speak positively of something that I was already kind of tired of seeing before I even saw it in theaters, just based on the amount of times I've seen the trailer. But I went in just like, give me a decent enough time. It was fine. There's some really cringy dialogue moments and like, haha, gotcha moments, or like people hitting like one-liners randomly, and I'm like, what's your fucking plan here? Like, what's going on here? What are we trying to do? What is this movie? So it just, the style of it kind of threw me off a little bit. Also, I've never been a fan, and this is more something to do with recent movies and more modern movies, of showing like phone chat or like text chat or airdrops on screen next to the character. I don't like to see a text message bing up on the screen. I think that is the most like dating thing. It's like when someone vapes in a movie, I'm like, well, okay, well, we know roughly when this movie came out. I don't like seeing like text font or like stuff, shit like that pop up on a screen. I'm like, that just feels kind of lazy. I don't know. I don't love it. I didn't hate this movie, but it's just so meh. You could go see it. You could also just go fucking rewatch something that you like and have a better time doing it.
You could see Warfare.
Yeah, you could go see Warfare and get rocked for an hour and a half.
Pause.
That doesn't sound great.
Go
see Warfare. Go see Warfare.
Okay.
Go see Warfare.
Right.
You're better off watching Warfare than Drop. But whatever. If you're gonna go to the theater, just fucking buy a ticket. I don't even give a shit at this point. Just go support a movie.
For real.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Don't go see Drop.
Right on.
But support a movie.
So I did a little.
I'm fucking fried right now. I'm so tired. It's so late at night.
That's great. He's losing it. We still got some things to talk about.
We got so much shit.
We're cooking through. Okay, a movie that I watched this week came out in 2019. I think it was actually like early 2020, but officially 2019 was The Gentleman, which is a Guy Ritchie movie that is very much in the same vein as Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch. Guy Ritchie getting back to his crime roots of just these United Kingdom English fucks just doing shit and just gangs around the city. Essentially, this movie is about Matthew McConaughey, who is an American expat who's trying to sell off his marijuana empire in London, which triggers plots, schemes, bribery, and blackmail in an attempt to steal his domain out from under him. This movie, first of all, has such a great cast. Like I mentioned, McConaughey is in there, which he fits perfectly in a Guy Ritchie movie of this style of movie. Then you have Charlie Hunnam, who, for a while there, Hollywood was trying to make him kind of the thing, next big thing, and it didn't quite work out. But this is the best I've ever seen Charlie Hunnam. He's incredible as Matthew McConaughey's kind of right-hand man in his business. You have Michelle Dockery, Jeremy Strong being a snivelly little fucking bitch.
Jesus.
I love Jeremy Strong. He's great, but he's got a lot of range.
He kind of... Okay. What I was going to say kind of goes completely against that.
Oh.
I feel like he plays a lot of the same type, or the same type of person.
Interesting.
And stuff like
I feel like
Succession, which I haven't watched a lot of Succession. I've watched like 3 episodes. So, very small little sample of that. But from this, I'm like, he kind of plays like the same little smarmy jackass. It's the same thing that like Kieran Culkin does, where I'm like, you're kind of just being like sarcastic and all this shit, but...
I love Jeremy Strong.
I love them both, and actually Jeremy Strong as Roy Cohn in The Apprentice, I was like, whoa, it didn't expect
he's incredible.
this, so that's great. So
he's great. Henry Golding, Hugh Grant is in the movie.
Hugh Grant's awesome.
Really
this
fun
fucking movie too.
He's had a great career resurgence just in the past, like maybe decade, I'd say.
Thank you, Paddington 2.
Paddington 2, this movie, Dungeons and Dragons, Heretic, like again, like talking about range, just like a bunch of different genres, and he's just like killing it in all of them. So that's great to see. Eddie Marson's in the movie, and then Colin Farrell, just as the most British dude talking in that Guy Ritchie slang where he's just throwing around slurs, and he's got his little gang of hooligans.
He's got his tracksuit on.
He's a gangster kind of, and he's got the hooligans around. They're involved in this like kind of scheme to around this marijuana business. And this movie is so much fun, and I think it's so underrated. Like, I heard people say this movie was good when it came out. I never got around to seeing it, obviously. But like watching it, I was like, man, this is like on par with Lock, Stock, and Snatch, like in that same vein of like these Guy Ritchie crime movies. I think it's his probably 3rd best movie. I had such a great time with it. It's so much fun. It moves at such a brisk pace. You have all the great storytelling of like intercutting between these different things. You jump back in time a little bit and see what's happening. All these different groups. I think that's the most impressive thing is... Don't yawn while I'm talking.
Sorry, I'm
quiet.
1 a.m.
We've been up later than this watching Love on the Spectrum, so you're fine.
It's actually true.
Which, great show, by the way. Watch Love on the Spectrum. New season's out. We watched first episode. It's fucking amazing.
I love that show.
It's so good. Anyways, the thing that Guy Ritchie does, especially in these style of movies, is there's a lot of characters and a lot of subplots, but he ties them together really well. And this kind of interconnected story really comes to a head like at the end, and everything connects very nicely, so it doesn't feel like anything was wasted time. So like Colin Farrell and his gang, and Matthew McConaughey and Henry Golding and his kind of crew, like it all fits together perfectly. It's so much fun. The action's great in the movie, too. The dialogue is just on point and snappy. It's great. I love this movie. It's on Netflix right now. Definitely check it out. I had a really good time with it.
Oh, I'm still yawning.
Still fucking yawning.
I'm yawning as I really do like this movie. This is one of the... Guy Ritchie is one of the most fucking efficient directors in the world. I feel like he pumps fucking movies out like 3 times a year. The Gentleman came out, then we had, I think, not in this order necessarily, but like Wrath of Man, The Covenant, like he just fucking fires shit, and then his weird Operation whatever.
Operation Fortune Ruse de Gour?
Yeah, fuck that. I don't know, dude. I never saw that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So this dude just like puts movies out nonstop.
Aladdin.
I forgot he did Aladdin.
Which
yep.
actually, not awful.
Yeah, I've heard some people actually really like that. I never saw it. I'm not the biggest Aladdin fan, which we don't need to talk about now as we talk about The Gentleman, but I heard that Guy Ritchie doing that, kind of cool. So I really like The Gentleman. What's the Matthew McConaughey line? What the lion does when he's hungry? He eats. Like that fucking trailer bit line.
He's got the gun just like pointed at his head.
Yeah, I'm like, God. It's such a stacked cast, which like this is pretty typical in a Guy Ritchie movie. Another Guy Ritchie movie that's kind of underrated is the King Arthur one, Legend of the Sword. That movie gets dogged on a little bit. It's too long, but it's pretty good. Like, I really dug that movie. I've never watched the show of this either, because they've now have, I think it's on Netflix too, they have at least a season or 2 of the new Gentleman show. So I'd be interested in looking at that, because I remember really enjoying this movie. The thing that kind of turns me off of some of Guy Ritchie's stuff is it feels like it's jumping too much between different plot threads to where I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Who am I following? And I vaguely remember like Gentleman being like, I really liked it. I feel like it could have like chilled out a little bit, but the cast is great. This is the best Charlie Hunnam has ever been in a movie.
For sure.
And you get a lot of good, like, I think just like small clips of him just like fucking with people or give me it back, nah. Just like him yelling, I don't know. And this isn't something I typically bring up. The costume design in this movie, the suits that everyone's wearing, the way everyone's dressed is so fucking awesome. And it's so just like everyone has their own style, but it all works within this movie. And everything is like within the same aesthetic, even though it's different styles. So it's awesome movie. Happy that you sat down and watched it. It is, it'd probably be towards the top half of the Guy Ritchie movies in terms of ranking his movies. It'd be towards the top half for me too as well. After I watched Drop, which was I think last night, I was like, nah, it was fine. I got home and I had more time and I'm like, you know what? I have a busy weekend. I don't know what I'm gonna do, so I have some free time right now. Maybe I try and watch another movie, redeem my movie watching for today, and try and watch something that's better than The Drop, which. A couple weeks back, I watched Judgment at Nuremberg, and I bought a Burt Lancaster movie called The Sweet Smell of Success. I bought Sweet Smell... You were opening that, and then me...
Somebody clip that, please.
Just the cracking of the beer and the burp.
Perfect.
But I bought Sweet Smell of Success, which is a movie from 1957. It's a movie I've always heard about, and I've heard a lot of my favorite directors really talk about, so I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll check it out. It's directed by Alexander Mackendrick, the director of The Man in the White Suit and The Lady Killers, not the Coen Brothers Lady Killers. The original that I've heard is much better. But this film, like I mentioned, Burt Lancaster is the starring role, as well as Tony Curtis and Susan Harrison. It is, as many of you probably don't know because it's from 1957, a powerful Broadway columnist coerces an unscrupulous press agent into breaking up his sister's romance with a jazz musician. It's just this wild movie that takes place in Manhattan. And it's just it's so of its era because it's things that watching it was kind of hard to adjust my mindset from like modern day to, oh, this columnist can write whatever he wants. He could slander, like people are trying to like get in well with him and get in good with him and basically kiss this guy's ass so he writes about him so that they can basically be famous because everyone reads this dude's column in the paper. And it's just such a different era in terms of what we live now. But it was so refreshing. But aside from this being one of my favorite, just like it's almost a noir film, even though it's about a columnist, and there's no like big detective story, there's no big murder, there's no big like tragedy or drama. It's just this columnist just writing things. and then he finds out his young sister that he looks out after is having this kind of fleeting romance potentially with this jazz musician that's moved into town. That he's like, I don't know this guy. He's probably not a stand-up guy. I don't know him, and he's being really overprotective about it. But the thing that always stands out that was praised about this movie for me was the writing. And I pulled up a couple of the lines for this movie because there's just shit that is said. Like, every single line spewed out by Burt Lancaster. He plays the writer of this columnist. His name is J.J. Hunsaker.
Strong name.
Strong. Every fucking line this guy says is gold. Just, he said, what was it? I'm pulling it up right now. You're dead, son. Get yourself buried. And then you got Tony Curtis. The cat's in the bag. The bag's in the river. Like, cat's dead in the bag. Bag's in the river. Shit's taken care of. Just like there's just such a like snappiness to writing in the 50s and the 60s that is so special and particular to that time period. To where it's like we don't get a lot of like character within the writing. Like people talk pretty much the same way in movies, I feel like now. Whereas back then, it's like you get like that quick time, like, yeah, you see? Like you get like weird, like you get interesting character decisions within the writing. And J.J. Hunsaker is basically this elitist. Like he is just top of the food chain, and he's just able to cut anyone down with his words, both in what he says to people to their face, because he doesn't give a fuck, but also what he writes. And he's like, I will write what is important to the people, and if I fuck up someone's reputation, I fuck up someone's reputation, but it's what's important to the people. So the writing of this movie was immaculate. One of the most like enjoyable, just hanging on every word. I had the subtitles on just so I could see the dialogue and just read it with. I'm like, whoa, this is what a well-written movie should be. So very engaging, very enjoyable. I don't know if I could recommend it to many people, but if you're randomly watching like the TCM Turner Classic Movies channel and Sweet Smell of Success pops up, yeah, you'd probably have a good time watching it. But it's a great movie. Burt Lancaster and Tony Curtis, which I haven't seen a lot of Tony Curtis. The thing I most kind of connect him to is Some Like It Hot. I really love him in that movie. But Tony Curtis, Burt Lancaster, amazing in this movie. The dialogue is so fucking fiery, and I think, yeah, you'd probably dig it. I know you'd probably dig it,
yeah,
Corey.
I'm excited to check it out after just hearing you talk about it. Yeah, definitely sounds like something I would really enjoy. Going into a few little TV things for the week, we've been doing our Daredevil Born Again, just kind of each episode reaction. We had episode 8 this week, the penultimate episode, and this one was one of my favorites of the season. And this was one where, if you aren't familiar with the background of this season of Daredevil, it is there was a lot of filming done, and then they kind of brought in people to do some reshoots after people were like, well, we kind of want to carry over more stuff from the Netflix shows, so we want to do more of that. So the first episode of the show, and then the 8th and 9th episodes were a lot of reshoots, and different people were brought in, and you can really tell. Like, this episode, just even in the direction of how the episode opens, like on this flower, going into the prison where Bullseye's at. Again, sorry, spoilers for this episust, by the way.
Yeah, we'll probably talking spoilers. Some big shit happened in this episode.
Yeah, so spoilers for that if you haven't seen it yet. But like I was saying, like the direction is just, you can notice the differences here. It feels less of like, we're going to talk about Miss Marvel in this episode. Like, that just doesn't fit here. But this was one of my favorite episodes because it really was a carryover from the stuff that made Daredevil work so well in the Netflix series. You have Bullseye back just fucking shit up. He chews off one of his teeth and then spits it through a dude's skull, which is just like, that's cool. I don't know if that would, it doesn't even matter
if
it
fucking
works.
It's the one part in this eepisode that didn't work for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, God damn it. Like, I don't know if I could buy into that.
I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Cool. I'm watching a fucking superhero show, and I'm like, you know what? Sure, whatever. But even just the entire scene at the end at this gala event, this party that Wilson Fisk is having, and you have Daredevil there, and he's listening in. His woman's trying to talk to him, and he's like, no, I'm listening. And then he's just listening to something else. She's like, Matt, are you listening to me? And he's like, yeah,
like, 100%.
And then Fisk goes in a room with Tony Dalton, who I love, by the way. He's fucking incredible. And he's just listening to that, and he's like looking at her, looking as he's blind, whatever. His head is pointed at her. I guess is probably a better way to say it.
I wouldn't have caught that until you pointed that out. Looking at her.
Yeah, but it's just
facing
like,
her. He's facing her.
That's a great way to say it.
Thank you.
So yeah, just a lot of that stuff though is like of the Fisk and Matt Murdock and Bullseye stuff all works really well in this episode, I think. And it's a very I don't know. It feels like it has more weight than some of the other episodes.
Yeah.
Especially just like with Muse kind of being underdeveloped and a little bit wasted in my opinion. This one brought it back and has some stakes at the end. Again, spoiler alert, but Matt gets shot at the end. Was he protecting Fisk? What was he thinking? Like I'm still like I'm not 100% sure on like what he was doing, or if it was to try and protect Heather because she was dancing with Fisk. I'm like, I don't know. Interesting stuff going into the next week's episode, but definitely a step up. But you can feel the gap between the different creative visions for this show.
Yeah,
or this season.
Yeah, this season. I really liked this episode, but with how much I liked this episode, the stuff that happens and kind of where we are left off, and just the overall like main story of what this episode is about is Bullseye gets put into general population at the prison by Fisk. Fisk makes the mayor, he puts that order in to put Bullseye in general population, which is likely going to get him killed. So then Bullseye's like, fuck, I need a lawyer. Hey, I know a guy that kicks my ass regularly. I'll call him up. Hey, Matt, fucking defend me because this is what you do. And which actually there's a really good line in there where he's like, that's what heroes do. Heroes defend their greatest enemies, or something along those lines. That might not be it for verbatim, but it's a great line. You get that exchange between at any time between Bullseye and Matt Murdock is awesome. So I love that. Whatever his name is, Poindexter or whatever. I feel like this show, this season, has been overall like it's been a mixed bag in terms of what the story is about. We've gotten different plot threads that just kind of pop up and go out to the point where I'm like, I don't know what the overarching like main story is. Is it just that, oh, Matt's coming back and Fisk is mayor, and we're just like those loose plot threads that tie through most of these episodes is what we're really following, even though we have Muse pop up and we have the White Tiger stuff, and then we have the bottle episode, and we have these BB reports that haven't happened in like 2 episodes, which I'm actually thankful for. Just a lot of stuff has kind of just like happened throughout this in a time period of Fisk being mayor. So I'm like, is the through line Fisk becoming mayor? Is that it? Because if so, I still feel like that's been underdeveloped. But regardless, this episode specifically, I actually really did dig it. Episode 7 kind of disappointed me just because of the killing of Muse, and I feel like I said, that was really underdeveloped, and I feel like you could have done more with that character. And Heather as a character doesn't fully work for me, and it's not because the character by herself doesn't work for me. It's how convenient this character is when paired with Matt. Of course she's a therapist. Oh, she's tied in with Fisk and Vanessa? Of course that works. Oh, she's also talking about vigilantes and living behind a mask? Oh, of course she's writing a book about those things. Like, it's too perfect. It's too, like, tied to a T. Like, everything's just so perfectly tied up with Heather. And I'm like, I don't, like, it's too easy. It's just every main issue we had in terms of how we make this story work, let's just put it all in one focal point character. I'm like, that's just, it feels like lazy writing. Beside that, I can't wait for this upcoming week's episode. I can't wait to see the aftermath of, hey, Fisk, you know Matt's Daredevil, and he just jumped in front of a gun for you. How does that play out? Like, I can already I already have this like vision of a scene of him of Matt in a hospital bed and Fisk walking in like, so you fucking like Vanessa tells me you fucking whatever. Like, just I can already kind of envision that, and the weight of those two characters on screen together will always kind of cover up a lot of like the hurt that some bad writing can do. I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I hope that they don't just like snuff out Bullseye. Like, I hope he escapes this gala, because once Matt gets shot, episode ends. We don't know what really happens to everyone else in that room. I hope that he doesn't just get captured and put back in prison or gets shot or whatever. I hope he escapes. I hope he becomes a bigger threat and continues to go on, because I actually really like Bullseye as a character.
I
I'm kind of eager. I'm excited. I'm still excited, even though I have like overall some episodes have been great, some have been meh, some have been like, what is this?
Yeah, I like the reveal, I guess, that Vanessa was behind Fozzie's death. I think that is a nice way to like tie in again, like that's from the first episode and then kind of disappeared for a while. And I like Vanessa. I've liked her role as the kind of crime boss this season. So I thought that was nice, and just the dancing where like Matt is dancing with Vanessa and like they're talking, and then Heather's with Fisk. Like that's just a good, well written sequence.
I like that Heather and Fisk are just like side by side, hip
not
to
like
hip dancing.
not
They're not
facing
facing each other. They're like doing almost like a kick line. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
If I was mad, I'd be like, whoa, hold on, it's my girl right now. Hold on, what are you doing?
What are you doing? What's this? You could face her, dude.
Yeah, weirdo. But
I can't see this, but I can hear that you're dancing fucking wrong.
I'll fucking twitch my head around and sense it.
Which I'm happy that they brought that back. They brought it like in the first episode.
The aspect ratio.
Yeah, the aspect
just
ratio
gonna say
shift.
that.
Oh my god, thank you.
It's
I don't get why
incredible.
they haven't done that more this season. That was one of my favorite things in the first couple of episodes, and I think that has been like a stylistic thing that they should have kept up on, and it's been kind of inconsistent.
Yeah, it's like I said. Kind of a last point on this episode was just the direction behind it. I think is just so much better than a lot of the other episodes.
Yeah.
Even when like Fisk and Tony Dalton are talking, who he was in Hawkeye. Who just a shout out to Tony Dalton in Better Call Saul, one of the best villains of all time, fucking awesome. But there's like a shot of Fisk standing over Tony Dalton, and it's like reflected in the table. There's a drink sat there, and it's just like you see Tony Dalton, and then Fisk is above him. It's just like really great camera placement and stuff that elevates an episode above some of the other ones for sure.
I also, not to talk too long about this one episode, but I love how fed up Matt is with everything, especially in this episode. He's like, fuck, like, they're defending this new dude that is, like, laundering and stealing money from teachers. They don't really fully go into, like, what his deal is, but, like, Matt can sense that he's a lying prick. Like, he's like, no, like, and he doesn't, like, hide that. He doesn't bottle it. He's like, no, you're a fucking asshole. Like, he just, like, kind of lashes out lightly on this guy. And then his partner's like, Matt, what the fuck was that? What's going on? And Matt's like, what are we doing? We're defending, like, what? No matter what we do, the justice system is fucked. Like, he's just at this point in the show where he's like, nothing I'm doing is working.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm happy to see him at his breaking point right now. I watched this episode with my wife, or at least she was laying in bed next to me, and once they got to the gala, and Matt's like, he's still kind of irritable, and Heather's already irritable, and he just like folds up the cane, puts it on a waiter's dish, and the waiter walks away. My wife was like, doesn't he fucking need that? Like, when is he getting that back? She was so hyper-fixated on that. Thought that was funny. I'm like, no, he can kind of see. I don't know how to explain this to every time. But yeah, I can't wait. The one stylistic thing that I didn't like was showing, like, it would, like, go to blue with Bullseye a lot. Like, they would, like, flash and the entire frame would turn blue and have blue lighting to it. Which I'm fine with if they did it every time we saw Bullseye, but they don't do it every time we've seen Bullseye, at least throughout this season, so it's been really inconsistent again. Overall, I think that this show so far has been great. Like, it's been inconsistent. There's been some low points, but there's been some fucking high highs. I don't think we've hit as high as episode 4 with the Punisher yet. Who knows, maybe next week's episode we'll get that point, but nothing has been, like, phenomenal. I think that this is getting close to season 2 of the Netflix Daredevil in terms of quality, but it's not like season 1, season 3 Netflix Daredevil. So overall, like it. Can't wait for episode 9. I'm excited to see just the aftermath and how they wrap it up. I'm hoping that we get a long episode to kind of wrap this shit up and give me something to look forward to even into season 2, because I already know that they're working on that too. But Corey knows that I've been plugging away on Severance, because it's a show that he really likes. A lot of people liked. It's a water cooler show, which is, it's nice to have some of these bigger, like, they're all streaming shows, so you can really spend your time watching literally anything. But there are some shows that really rise to the top, especially when they're having like their week-to-week premieres. You hear a lot of shit about them. So I watched all of season 1 of Severance. We've talked about it. I was kind of a little lukewarm. Like, I liked it, but a little disappointed, a little let down in aspects. I have now started season 2. I will give a little bit more of a further, like, in-depth review next week when I'm for sure will finish this season. I'm 7 episodes in of the 10 episodes. I think that this is a massive improvement over that first season. I really do like this season so far. the answers to the questions they've posed I've found to be relatively satisfying. I still love the aesthetic, like all the acting, everything that was great about season 1 has carried over. I do know that episode 8 is typically the one that a lot of people are like, what the fuck was this episode? This episode was a waste of time. And I know it follows Selvig or Koble or that character, Patricia Arquette's character. And she is my least favorite character in the show. I think she's horribly miscast. But you know what? I'll watch that episode. Maybe I'll like it. Who knows? So I have 3 more episodes left. I am digging season 2 more than season 1 of Severance. I'm excited to finish out this season. Who's your favorite character in Severance? Do you have a favorite character?
I would probably say Helly / Helena.
Yeah.
I love that dynamic there, just because the innie and outie are so different, and the dynamic there is very
hate each other.
Very interesting. So I love that. I think season 2. I mean, we'll talk more full spoilers,
week,
but I think it does a great job of building off of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 4 of season 2, the Ortbo, where
yep.
you get outside, you get Milchick in his big fucking white coat, which is just awesome. Love that.
Milchick, I don't know the actor's name off the top of my head. For
Tramel Tillman, great.
That man is so handsome. What a handsome dude, but also so fucking charismatic. And Milchick is my favorite character. That's my answer.
Okay.
Fucking
He's
love
great.
Milchick in this show. My least favorite character, aside from Koble, is the little girl who is running the office.
Miss Wong.
Miss Wong. Don't care for her. Don't care for whatever school project she's in on or why she's here. Don't give a shit. Get her out. Just give me Milchick running the ship. I fucking love his ass. And we again spending too much time on this show, but we just got past the episode where they did the performance review where they're like, you use too big of words. You use paper clips the wrong way. Like, just some of that shit. One, it's relatable, even though it's just like, fuck it, I hate that shit when getting micromanaged by stupid things. But also like Milchick staring in the mirror, changing his sentence of like, basically, you need to eradicate the young essence, whatever his sentence is, and then he's like, you need to grow up, and he just grow up, yelling in the mirror. I was like, fuck, dude, like, chill.
It's incredible acting.
Yeah,
he's great. He honestly is, like you mentioned, one of my favorite characters. Yeah. But yeah, we'll do a little review of season 2. Mm-hmm. I know I talked about it already, but once you finish it, we can do a full spoiler talk, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, chat about it.
For sure. So we got some new releases coming up this week. Really the one big one, Mason kind of talked about it before. We got Sinners coming out. Ryan Coogler's new movie. He's obviously done both Black Panther movies, Fruitvale Station, which is a very tough watch, but very good movie. And then The First Creed, which is great. This movie stars Michael B. Jordan in dual roles, which we've talked about this year. It's a very popular thing. Robert De Niro. We had Theo James in The Monkey. So I guess this is the year.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, this is the year for the dual roles. But he's playing 2 twin brothers who are returning to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. I've also got Haley Steinfeld, Delroy Lindo, Wunmi Masaku, who's great in Loki, both seasons of that show, and I'm so excited for this movie. I can't wait. The trailers have looked good. I think they've revealed a little bit too much.
I think I'm done with the trailers.
Yeah. I wish they would have shown less. I wish I didn't, and I'm not going to spoil it, I guess, for you if you haven't seen the trailers. I wish they didn't reveal like who the villains are of the movie, or like what the group is, I guess is the best way I can put it. I wish we didn't know that.
The lineup of in that bad group.
Yes.
There's a scene in the trailer of like, who's behind that door? And then they show who's behind that door.
Like, I don't even... yeah. You know what? Actually, I'm just going to talk about the spoilers right now, just to stop
It's in the trailer, so it's just like...
I wish we didn't know this was a vampire movie.
That too.
That's what I wish. I wish we didn't know that, and we just saw, like... the people in this barn, it looks like, and then like some outsiders looking at it. I wish we knew that.
Yeah.
I wish we didn't know it was vampires. I think that was
almost like a
mistake.
Because then we could have like that From Dusk Till Dawn moment.
Yeah.
Where you're watching it in theater and they're like, oh, like these guys on the run, these fucking thieves on the run, and they run into this bar and it's run by Oh, fuck.
Oh, Salma Hayek's foot is in my mouth.
And she's a fucking vampire. Like,
crazy.
So, which that movie, like, Sinners, some of the trailer, from what I've seen, that gives me the vibe of From Dusk Till Dawn. I've seen a lot. I don't know if it still has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I know for a long time it had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes with like at least over probably close to 30 reviews by this point. And all of the reviews aren't only positive, they're like glowing. It's people like, wow, this is the best movie of 2025 so far. I've seen people say like, this is such a horny movie, which vampires are never scary, really, to me, unless you're talking like Blade 2 where their jaw just like cuts in the middle and fucking flaps around. Love that shit.
You like that?
I like that shit. But I'm happy that they're like, you know what? This is a horny fucking movie. These vampires, you're getting fucking horny. And I'm like, Haley Steinfeld, not to be like too white bro guy, but like Haley Steinfeld looks hot as fuck in this. Dude, like, and like, I get to go see Michael B. Jordan in dual roles, Haley Steinfeld. Fuck yeah. They both look hot. Hell yeah, this looks sexy as shit. It's shot on film. I saw Ryan Coogler put out like an 11-minute interview on Kodak, just talking about different film styles.
Yeah.
And I was like, what a dude. Like, this dude, he's so
Coogler.
dedicated to what he makes, and I can't wait to see what this kind of fully is, because I think even going in knowing it's a vampire flick and it's about these two brothers, I feel like there's got to be more to it, and I all the reviews have been glowing. I just know that this is going to be a fucking banger. I can't wait for this movie. I think it was on both of our top 10s for most anticipated for 2025.
Yeah, it was up there for sure.
So, like, I can't wait to see it for that reason. Also, I feel like I haven't really clocked Delroy Lindo in something aside from, like, Da 5 Bloods.
He's so good in that movie. Got robbed of an Oscar nomination.
I love him in that movie, and I haven't really feel like I've seen him in much since then, so I'm excited to see him in this.
Also, love seeing Ryan Coogler not doing a franchise movie.
This feels like it could be a sneaky Blade movie, even though I know it's not.
It'd be wild if it was.
If they're like, Blade.
I like both Black Panthers. I love Creed, but it's like I love to see him getting out of that a little bit and just like do what you want to do.
Do more genre fare,
Yeah.
like not like super. Do like a fucking like Jim Crow vampires. Like fuck it. All right, we're doing that. So I can't wait. That's easily one of the. Like I said, the movies of 2025, especially this earlier portion of the year that I'm most excited for. In terms of the other movies coming out this upcoming week, I've never heard of this. Apparently it's an animated movie called Sneaks, directed by Rob Edwards and Christopher Jenkins, starring Anthony Mackie, Keith David, Lawrence Fishburne, Martin Lawrence, stacked cast. When a designer sneaker unwittingly finds himself lost in New York City, he must dig deep into his soul.
Nice.
In order to rescue his sister and return to his rightful owner. So it's a shoe finding his other shoe and then going back to the owner of the shoes.
Sure. Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer for this?
No, I was looking at.
Have you heard of this before today?
Yesterday when I put it on the list.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fuck, I've never heard of this.
It was a sort of a lighter release week, but you know what? I wanted to put something else on there, give you another option if you're
a kids movie as opposed to the rated R boner fest of a vampire flick with Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, all right.
I can't fucking wait. I'm seeing this movie so fucking quick. So fucking quick.
Maybe this one will be good. Who knows?
Well,
there's a few other things. Yeah. The kind of
big shoes are on the roof. Get
them. Incredible Family Guy bit.
Oh my god.
God, it's so good.
Lois, my shoes are on the roof. Get them.
Get them.
Perfect.
The other big thing we wanted to talk about coming out this Sunday, so tomorrow for us, is The Last of Us Season 2. It's been fucking 2 years since first season. Obviously got impacted by like the writer's strike and all that shit. But man, the Season 1 is so great. I'm rewatching it right now. And I actually just finished playing the game, which after Season 1 came out, Mason bought me the game because he's like, you need to play it. It's a great story. It's awesome. And it took me 2 years to play it. Not because it's a bad game.
You're just bad at playing video games.
I'm very bad at playing video games. Not necessarily like it's like story-based games that I'm bad at. Like play a lot of Call of Duty and Madden. I'm like fine at those. But
things that you can just do in a pinch.
Yeah. Last of Us is the game. First of all, incredible story. And it works so well translated to a television show and not a movie. I'm glad that they chose this format. But I'm just bad. I die so much and I get frustrated. I'm like, there's too many clickers around. I can't do this. There's 3 bloaters. I have 2 things of ammunition here and a fucking shiv. I can't do this. and I almost whipped my controller at the screen. Ellie's just around not helping.
She's like, I can't swim.
She's like, I need a raft, and I'm like, I'm trying to kill people.
Can you swim the pallet over here for me to get on? Like fuck off.
We're making this so inconvenient. But that's just a user error. That's not anything on the game. The game's really great. And just like a quick thing on season 1, just rewatching it, it really nails the small character moments so incredibly well, and really picks the best moments of the game and translate them so well, and then also adds in things, especially like the Bill and Frank episode 3.
The best episode of the entire fucking show so far.
So good, and it's like you forget that you're watching a show about like a zombie apocalypse, basically. So I cannot wait for season 2. I've heard really good things, and this will be another week-to-week show for me.
Yeah, like you said, I'm not the best at watching TV, and I'm not typically a week-to-week person. Daredevil has been the one show that has done that. Creature Commandos before that, I watched week-to-week, and now Last of Us Season 2, I'll watch week-to-week. That's, you and I watched the first season together week-to-week, every Sunday when it dropped the new episodes, and yeah, that show, I think they so perfectly handled that first game. I'm excited to see how they incorporate the second game. I'm guessing they're splitting the second game into 2 seasons. I'm excited to kind of see how they handle that split and where they put that split in the game. I'm really excited because I don't think you know much about what happens in the second game.
Unfortunately, I know like the big thing that happens,
No.
which I'm not going to say, and it's just like I sort of expected it. It's inevitable after like 2 years.
Did you hear about it? What happened?
Like somebody was talking about it, like season 2's coming out. I wonder if they're gonna do this thing, which I hate. And like
do you know how something happened?
I don't know how. Okay. I just know a thing
that something happens.
We're not gonna talk about it in case you don't know. Don't look into anything. Just watch the show.
Which is gonna be hard because with Last of Us being the recent thing and the thing that's coming out week to week, there's gonna be a lot of speculation shit put out. There's gonna be a lot of reaction shit put out, and you're guaranteed someone's gonna, in passing, spoil something to you. So try your best to try and dodge that. I can't imagine seeing this show and knowing what happens. To see that happen within the realm of this show, not even just the game, would be fucking amazing to experience firsthand. But yeah, I can't wait for Last of Us Season 2. It's going to be great. I am excited for Season 3 whenever that comes out too. No concerns. Just fucking give it to me now, please. But looking into the physical media roundup, what we've purchased lately, on my little Burt Lancaster kick that I've been on, I decided to order a special edition Blu-ray, which it comes with a Blu-ray, I think a DVD, as well as like a CD of the film score, which I'm like, I'm so excited to see the packaging of this movie because I have no idea.
That's cool.
To see just what all this entails. But of the movie The Swimmer from 1968, it's based on a short story that I actually read in high school, and then I watched this I watched this movie specifically, and I'm excited to rewatch it with older eyes, because I remember watching it in high school, and be like, what the fuck is this about? Like, what's going on? It's this dude that's it's Burt Lancaster, getting from point A to B within this town, and he's like, I'm gonna chart this voyage by going through all of the people I know swimming in their pools. Like, everyone I know has a pool in their backyard. I'm going to go through every one of those pools. And that's it. And it's just him running into people. And it's a very interesting story. So I wanted to rewatch that. I'm on a Burt Lancaster kick. And also, I'm really excited to just see what a fucking CD and a Blu-ray DVD release looks like. Cool. So excited to see that edition. I also did pre-order the 4K Blu-ray for Black Bag, which is my favorite movie of 2025 to this point. Really excited to get that, rewatch that. It is one of my favorite Steven Soderbergh films. And also, they have the Blu-ray out. Finally, they announced the 4K, and immediately I pre-ordered that. I think I get that sometime in early May 13th or whatever. So excited to get that.
I didn't buy anything this week, but just a quick note on the concept of the swimmer. I remember my dad telling me a story in high school, like him and his buddies would go and like jump in random people's pools that they, like their neighbors, or just like throughout the neighborhood, they're just like, we're gonna go like just fucking swim in their pools. And then they would just like fuck around and pour popcorn in the pools just to make it like very difficult to clean that out and other things like that.
Jesus.
So that's just a wild story. I remember my dad telling me, I'm like, whoa,
Like,
that's insane.
oh, we're gonna go swimming? You guys get the popcorn?
He's like, we're going to make these rich people just like clean out their pools and whatever. I don't know.
I've always wanted to jump onto a pool that has the pool cover over it.
Oh, yeah.
I've walked on one, like our friend Carly, she has her childhood home, they had a pool, and they always have their pool cover, and you can kind of walk on it a little bit. And I'm like, that's kind of cool, but
I feel like I'd get sucked in like a hot air balloon that's like crashing to the ground.
Yeah.
That would happen to me. The pool cover would just go down.
What's the big blimp? The fucking pop blew up. I was gonna say
Heisenberg?
No, don't do this. It's not the Heisenberg.
Right? Is that?
No.
Am I thinking?
But Berg sounds right.
Something. It's
Hindenburg. The Hindenburg.
Heisenberg's fucking Breaking
I'm like,
Bad.
I'm like Heisenberg. I know what that is, and it's not this. But
I
you're
was
not
like,
far
do they
off.
have the same name? Like, no, different name. Hindenburg. Yeah.
Sick.
History lesson with with Corey and Mason. We're smart guys.
Fucking Hindenburg. Yeah. Fucking Heisenberg blew up.
Sort of. He got gunned down a little bit. Spoiler
fucking
alert for
stretch.
Breaking Bad. Okay, so stuff coming out this week.
My ass is so sweaty.
Dude, the thing is that you guys can't see this. We're transitioning soon to doing this on video. Right now,
And having like a set.
yeah, we're trying to like improve on some stuff. Right now, we're filming just with like, very kind of bare bones stuff. We
All
closed
of my crevices are slick.
Okay, so we have the windows closed because like there's just
So much fucking noise.
ambulances just going whoop, whoop, outside, and then fire trucks, and we're in Minneapolis, so it's just like there's a lot of shit going on here. And the noise, you guys would be able to hear it, and it's sort of hot in here. Both of our thighs are sweaty.
Very hot in here.
And so we're kind of just sweating. You guys can't hear it.
We're also drinking, which is maybe a flaw of the show.
Yeah,
but also it's the
no,
best
no,
part.
it's not a flaw.
like
Not a flaw. Don't
but
say it's a
like-
flaw.
And then we always get to like the movie nose portion where I'm like, I need to piss right now.
Yeah, we've had a few, and it's just cruising through. But we're brave, strong boys.
We're brave, strong boys. This is the most unhinged. It's also super fucking late, so we're
Yeah.
this is gonna be like the weird episode.
This is a good fun one.
My back and my ass are fucking damp.
Yeah. Everything is wet. You know who's that's not even a good segue to this.
What are you trying to skip?
Sonic? I was gonna make
Okay.
like a Sonic
You know who's fucking wet? Sonic.
shadow. I don't know. That wasn't a good transition. Stuff that's coming out this week on Blu-ray and 4K, April 15th. We got Sonic the Hedgehog 3. There's actually like 2 different steelbooks you can get. I think they're at Walmart, which is pretty cool.
One of the steelbooks is like the white, like it's just like a.
It's Sonic and
almost like-
Shadow on 2 different
it's
ones.
almost-
Yeah.
It's just kind of. Yeah, it's fine.
I like that they're doing different
Yeah.
variations of it. That's cool still. And then
It gives me hope as a physical media collector.
Yeah.
As I cut you off again.
And then quiet. And then Hard Eyes, which I didn't see, but
Fucking love this
I'm
movie.
excited to see. I don't know if I'll buy it right away, but when it drops on streaming, I definitely want to check it out.
I definitely will buy this movie
Right on.
relatively soon and quick. Josh Rubin, who is a dear friend of the show. No, I posted on Instagram. I don't know if I brought this up. I posted on Instagram a review of Hard Eyes a while ago, and I sent it actually to Josh Rubin, and he not only liked it, he commented on it. On my wife's comment, because my wife commented a quote from the movie, and then he commented on that comment, finishing the quote. And it made my wife's day, because me and my wife are huge fans of Josh Rubin. He does a lot of improv, and we think he's fucking hilarious. I love Werewolves Within. So I'm like, you know what? This dude is a fucking peach. I'm buying this fucking movie. I also really enjoyed this movie. It's a good little throwback slasher, like date night romance movie. So I really dug it. I will gleefully buy this quick.
Thanks,
pretty
Josh
quickly.
Rubin. You're
Thank
a cool
you.
guy.
Yeah, thanks, Josh Rubin, for just being a cool dude and supporting us. I know you're definitely not listening to this, but thanks for liking my Instagram post. That's so
Yeah, that's
sweet.
cool.
That made my fucking day. Moving into movie news. A little bit of a light week. Last week was a big, heavy week. We put the movie news at the front of the episode because it was all CinemaCon shit, and we just were talking nonstop about the new developments in terms of what was coming out the rest of this year. But something that we're not really going to feel the effects of for probably another 2, I think it's 2028, we are getting a new category added to the Oscars, which is an award for Best Stunt Design, and I think, starting in 2028. I'm stoked for this. This is something that I feel like we've kind of been waiting for a while. Anything that within the world of film, anything that you can give recognition to, because like everything on screen was put on screen by people fucking busting ass, elbow grease, like putting in work. Everything on screen is meant to be there for a reason. So you have to be able to recognize what is good and what is bad. And I think stunts, especially with, we got Mission Impossible coming up and Tom Cruise just being willing to do whatever the fuck he can and whatever insurance and liability is just thrown through the fucking window. They're like, you know what? Yeah, we'll just let you hang off the side of this fucking plane. I can't wait to see a best stunt design category, especially after, like, we had Fall Guy last year. I'm like, seeing more movies kind of harken back to classic stunt work. I think it's something that's gradually being more celebrated now and we're recognizing more. So I'm excited to have this incorporated within the Oscars.
Yeah. Kind of two notes I had. Well, actually, I'm very excited about it, like you said. Two notes I had. Kind of sucks that, like, Mission Impossible probably, like, won't
be going on.
Like, like Tom Cruise, maybe this will be his last one, The Final Reckoning. So that sucks that we didn't get an Oscar for him. Maybe. We'll see. Also, I am excited, and I think it's going to up the ante for a lot of stunts. We're going to see a lot of crazy shit, and I think a lot of, like, more Tom Cruise-esque things where they're like, how far can we go?
Yeah.
I hope nobody, like, dies.
Yeah.
Trying to, like, get an Oscar for stunt design.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's great that they...
Same protocols will hopefully be in place.
Yeah. I'm excited for it, and I think we're going to see some awesome stuff. We had a trailer released this week for Wes Anderson's new movie, The Phoenician Scheme, which is coming out this summer, June 6th. And I actually just looked up the synopsis of it because the trailer's just very Wes Anderson.
It's Wes Anderson's next Wes Anderson.
Yeah,
Wes
and
Anderson
the synopsis of it is the story of a family and a business. So it's got Benicio del Toro. Looks like he's sort of the main character, possibly. Everything is perfectly centered, and it's in, like, what, 4x3 that he does, kind of.
His aesthetic that has become just everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we talked about it when I watched The French Dispatch a couple months ago. This one feels like him doing a Wes Anderson movie. I think he kind of peaked with Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
And that was, like, I love that movie. That's my favorite of his. And then since then, I've liked some things.
I like Asteroid City.
I like Isle of Dogs. I think that
movie's solid. Oh my god, yeah. Isle of Dogs is so underrated. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I think that movie's solid. Like, he's done some good stuff since then, but... And, like, I'll see this movie for sure, because I'm very interested, but... I don't know. It didn't, like, capture my attention where I'm like, oh, this is, like, a fucking... Like, I can't wait for this. It's like, I'll see it because it's Wes Anderson.
I kind of want him to... Like, I'm getting bored of his shtick.
Yeah.
And him just doing the same... Like, the way you measure, I think, what makes a director a great director is how they can handle different genres and doing things that are outside of their typical wheelhouse. That's why I think Stanley Kubrick is the best director of all time, because he is a banger in literally every fucking genre of film. Yeah, you have, like, things that are synonymous with that director, but he doesn't have, like, shot for shot, like... Wes Anderson, everything looks the fucking same. And it's the same color palette. It's the same, like, kitschy, weird, off-kilter, disjointed, quirky dialogue. Like, I'm kind of getting tired of his shtick as a guy who's mostly a fan of his stuff. Like, Bottle Rocket will forever be my favorite Wes Anderson movie, which I know that's, like, the hipstery thing to say because it's one of his earlier works. Like, fucking blow me. I don't give a shit. But Bottle Rocket is my favorent. I like Grand Budapest Hotel. Moonrise Kingdom, which a lot of people love, I actually hate, actually. Isle of Dogs is good. Fucking, I don't know. Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou was fine. I don't know. He's kind of hit and miss in terms of quality with me. They're all the same, though. It's all the same style, and it just kind of gets monotonous. And a lot of times I get exhausted by his style to where I'm like, all right, wrap it up. And I kind of experienced that a little bit in Budapest Hotel. I'm like, all right, this movie can... end credits. Perfect, thanks. Awesome. But... yeah, I'm kind of getting tired of Wes Anderson. Also, the fucking... the Portrait of Henry Sugar, like that shit, all those short films that he
That's
just...
an Oscar winner.
Dumped on Netflix. He dumped, like, fucking, 5 or 6 different fucking stupid fucking shorts on fucking Netflix. And I gotta watch them, and none of them are good? Okay. And one of them wins an Oscar? Okay, fine. Whatever. Doesn't matter. If people love Wes Anderson and that is your guy, you love his work, all of his work, good for you. I'm happy it works for you. It doesn't always work for me. And I like Asteroid City. I like French Dispatch. He slowly is chipping away at my patience. Just do something else. Prove to me that you're better than just this aesthetic. So, regardless, that's just a little Wes Anderson rant. Little next bit of movie news. It's not confirmed, so it's just a rumored casting. And typically I don't want to talk about stuff that's rumored just because then the next week you have to be like, actually that rumor was debunked. It's going this way, or this is what's happening, or this person's getting cast. But it has to do with my potential favorite film franchise going on right now, which is Dune Messiah, the next Dune movie made by Denis Villeneuve, which will be an adaptation of the second Frank Herbert novel. Robert Pattinson is rumored to be joining that film as a villain. They haven't, from what I've seen, they haven't really specified the concrete character he's going to be playing. There's a lot of talk of it being Saitael, which is a awesome character in Dune Messiah. I've read the first 3 Dune books of the original Frank Herbert 6. I'm not going to read his son's fucking dog water books that he fucking auto-populated 20 of them after. I'm like, what the fuck happened there? I'm going to read all the Frank Herbert books. I'm really excited to finish those original 6. Dune Messiah, I think, is a very underrated book. I love what they do with Paul Atreides in that book. And if Robert Pattinson's going to play Saitael, awesome character. Awesome villain. Such great power. And I don't want to give too much away, but Saitael is, for those of you who don't know, a character that he's a face dancer, which is basically just the way of saying he's basically a Mystique from the X-Men. He's a shapeshifter. He can change his appearance. He can change his voice. He can take on the appearance of completely different people, and it's believable. And he's kind of spearheading this conspiracy to somewhat overthrow Paul Atreides with a number of different people, but I don't want to give that away because kind of finding out who he's in cahoots with is part of the joy of reading Dune Messiah and hopefully watching Dune Messiah. But I love this casting because Robert Pattinson is probably my top 3-4 favorite actors working today, and anything that he's added to tends to improve. So I love the idea of this casting. Whether or not that this gets confirmed and it actually happens, can't fucking wait. I hope it gets confirmed. But if anything, it just proves I'm like, oh my god, just give me fucking Dune Messiah right now. I can't wait.
Maybe he's a worm.
Maybe
he's Shia Hulud.
Maybe Shia Hulud talks.
Yeah, maybe it's Robert Pattinson just like over a big worm body.
It's his Mickey 17 fucking voice over a gigantic, dusty butthole sandworm. Just
nice.
Fucking. Oh yeah, guys. Oh hi.
Yeah, hi. I regenerate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Do you like this idea though? You like Robert Pattinson potentially joining the universe?
Yeah, all jokes aside, yeah, he's an incredible actor, and like, yeah, get everybody in this movie.
There's a movie. What was it, The King with Timothée Chalamet and
Robert? It was good.
Robert Pattinson's in that too.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know how many times these actors have crossed paths. I think that might be the only one, but I'm excited to potentially see them hopefully work again together.
Yeah, that'd be great. Last little bit of movie news we have is that a Death Stranding movie is coming out, which I'm not familiar with the game at all, but Michael Sarnowski is directing it, who previously directed Pig with Nicolas Cage, which I love that movie. It's very underrated.
One of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies.
And A Quiet Place Day One, which was the prequel to the first 2 Quiet Place movies, which is also very good. I'm just kind of reading the synopsis on Death Stranding. It's an A24 movie, but a cataclysmic event called Death Stranding merged life and death, unleashing otherworldly monsters into a shattered world near destruction. Like I said, it sounds really cool. I haven't played the game, but I like Michael Sarnowski, and I think he's an up-and-comer in Hollywood, so I'm excited to see this. It looks like it was in pre-production right now, so excited to see this whenever it comes out.
Yeah, and it's coming from A24, which is kind of wild, them doing a video game adaptation. I know Michael Sarnowski is doing currently a movie with A24, so the fact that they're kind of greenlighting this and moving ahead with a Death Stranding movie with him attached to it while also putting out another one of his movies shows confidence in what the studio thinks of his work. Fucking A Quiet Place Day One had no business being as good as it was. Like, that movie, all of the Quiet Place movies are good. I didn't have really high expectations just because I'm like, all right, it's a prequel, the character's different. Like, I don't know if I ever really needed to see this exact moment in this story. I was happy with where it was going with our main group in the first 2 films, but I loved A Quiet Place Day One, and Lupita Nyong'o was fantastic in that. I know I've never played the game. I've always heard of it. I know this is one of those games where it casts, like, the characters in the game look like the actors that play them. So, like, Norman Reedus is big in this game, and there's some talk like, all right, well, now that you're doing Death Stranding, do you have to get Norman Reedus to play this main character because he's the main character in the game? I've also heard that this game is batshit insane. So a lot of people that are fans of this game are like, how the fuck are you going to adapt this? So as someone who hasn't played the game, I just want a good movie, and Michael Sarnowski has proven to me that he can make exceptional movies, especially when you count Pig. So I kind of love that idea, and I'm excited to see kind of the different types of video game adaptations we're getting. Like, we have Minecraft, we have Last of Us on HBO, we have Super Mario Brothers, and now we have Death Stranding. Like, we're getting more than just like the initial Warcraft movie and just weird, like, just random stabs at stuff. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. Anytime A24 makes a movie, not to be like a hipster that's like A24 or die, art is life, like whatever the fuck you want to say. I'm not trying to be like super film elitist and love independent studios, but A24, whenever they put out something, I typically am like, I should pay attention to this. It's probably something. If it's not amazing, there's probably something I can take away from it. It's interesting. Sure. It's a new spin on something. So I'm excited to see how they handle a video game adaptation. But regardless, thank you for sitting and having some liquor drinks with us on a little bit of a deranged episode as I kind of drank myself asleep a little bit. But this is, again, Slate Night, the Film Fan Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram or TikTok for more in-depth movie reviews and news. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast. Leave us some comments. Give us a rating, maybe like 3 or 4 stars or 5 if you feel really nice. In the world of film, it's not just about what happens on screen, but also about who's sitting next to you in the theater.
For Mason and I at Slate Night, that's a wrap.